Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. Today I am going to be walking you through making a Canada Day wreath, and I just made it just now. I just filmed myself making it, so this is sort of my flashback. So this is the wreath I am making in this video right here. If you like it, please watch ahead and watch me make it. You will see me make a few mistakes along the way. You will see me do a completely different design and then decide I hate it. And then I will change direction and do this instead. And yes, so keep watching to see how I made this. And if you are interested in making one yourself, please let me know, and I'd love to see your finished products as well. So without further ado, here we go. Today I'm going to be walking you through a craft again, and this one is going to be a wreath for Canada Day because Canada Day is coming up. Obviously, if you live in a different country, you probably won't want to follow this exactly, but you could do something with your country's colors and symbols and whatnot as well. And, you know, make it your own. I know Independence Day is also coming up, and I know there's a lot of people in the United States who could be watching this, so you could do something with your colors and celebrate Independence Day. Let's get started. So I bought a lot of this stuff from Michael's online because, again, COVID-19 is still a thing and going out for craft supplies isn't exactly essential, but luckily we have online shopping. So what I'm gonna make is a wreath. So I bought this wreath from Michael's. It is a 14-inch wreath, and I bought these cute little wooden maple leaves, and I'm gonna be painting these. I bought some red ribbon. And I didn't buy this, I already had this, but I'm gonna see what I will do with this white embroidery thread, just to add a little more white to it because I didn't want it to be too red. Something I also bought, but I kinda not sure if I like it. They showed 3 colors and it didn't really let me choose a color online. So I ordered 2 in hopes that I'd get the red or the white one, but I got the metal ones. They're cute though. I might hang them on either side of the wreath, or I might do it where it's inside the wreath. I haven't decided yet. I'm just not sure if I like them, but they were supposed to be part of this craft. So to get started, I'm going to paint these maple leaves. I'm going to paint 3 of them red and 2 of them white. So I'm going to start with the white and get those done and out of the way. This paint had sat here for a while, so it needed a good stir. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I want to make sure to get all the edges around here. Okay, I have one painted. I'm leaving the stem so I can hold on to it. I'm gonna let this part dry and then I'll do the next part. I didn't think this through very well because I don't know where to set this now, but I'm just gonna set it down on the paper and hope for the best. I'm gonna get paint on my hands. I'm just gonna accept that. So I'm gonna let these 2 dry, and I'm gonna do a second coat on them because it just doesn't look as good with only 1 coat. Okay, so I have my 2, they're still drying, but I have 2 white maple leaves there. And now I'm going to switch and do the red ones. Now, the 3 that I'm doing in red, I painted a little bit, like a really light layer of white on it, just to give it sort of a primer, I guess, if that makes sense. It's good to always shake or stir your paints if they have been sitting for a while. This paint sounds very watery, so I'm hoping for the best. I'm a little nervous. So I've learned from my mistakes last time. I'm just painting one side at a time. Make life a lot easier. And I'm gonna let them dry before I paint the other side. Okay, so I gotta wait for those to dry. And I think while I do that, I might work on the wreath a little bit. So now I have to decide where I want the top of the wreath to be. This one has a bit of an oval-y shape. Every single one of these will be a little different, obviously. I think I'll make this the top. Although, no, this will be the top. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to string some of this just throughout the wreath, and I'm also going to start this at the top to create a loop. You can use a thick embroidery thread like I am, or you could use wire, whatever works for you. Ta-da! So I've determined where the top is with the loop, so I won't lose it. Okay, so it doesn't look like much right now, but I have some white just through it. I'll probably add more, but my first layer of the red has dried. So I'm gonna set that there. And I'm gonna flip these over and I'm gonna paint the other side. Okay, so now those have to dry again, and then I'm going to do a second coat on top of this side, just the one side, and then I have to do the stems, and then all the leaves will be done. And again, while I wait, I'm going to work on the wreath. This time, I think I will introduce this ribbon. It's a bit thick, so I haven't really decided how I'm going to do this. I think I would have preferred if I bought something a little thinner, But yeah, I'm gonna play around with it and see what I can do with it. You know what? I figured it out. I need to plug in my glue gun and I will get started. But first, I'm gonna add a little more white throughout this because this is gonna cover a lot. But I need the white to be on the bottom layer. So I'm going to use TV Magic again. I'm gonna work on the white and I'll show you what I have once I'm done. And then I'll show you how I'm going to put the red ribbon on. So I've actually come up with a different solution to using the embroidery thread. And I'm so glad I used it. It gives a bit of texture, and I'm still going to add a few little pieces of it here and there, but I still have a lot of white paint on this, and I thought, what if I just did this? Just add a little bit of white, not in too much bulk or anything. And that's why it's good that there's not much on here. Now I'm going to use a little more, but I'm going to get most of it off, and I'm going to just do that. That way only a little bit is coming off. It kind of has a rustic look to it, which is typically not my style, but for this kind of wreath, I like it. I just want to add a little more in here. That was probably a little too much, but we'll see. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys what I got. To get that kind of look with the embroidery thread would have been a bit of a challenge. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to take this all off. Obviously, if there's a lot more on the roll, that's not a great idea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around. So, starting at the back, I'm going to put a big glob of hot glue gun here, and I'm going to stick this on, just so it's attached really good to the wreath. There we go. Now I'm going to use the back of this to do that. With ribbon, if you're hot gluing and you touch, it is going to be hot through the ribbon, so be careful, at least for the first little bit. Once it's really attached there, you can use your hands to manipulate it. And there we go. So now what I can do is wrap this around. Here we go. And that's what's left. I might use it, I might not. Still really hot. There we go. Ta-da! It's a thing. I still think it's cute. So I'm gonna now put this to the side again. I'm gonna have to sweep my floor. And now that I'm done with the glue stick or glue gun for now, I'm gonna unplug it. That way I don't waste glue, and also it's safer. So it's just gonna hang out over there while I finish up all of the painting. Okay, second coat is done. I've also done the edges, and I just have to do the stems, the first and second coat on the stems, and then we are good to go. I'm going to do that directly on this paper and hope for the best. Okay, there's number one. All right, so we're gonna let all of this dry and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, so all the paint has dried. My wreath is ready to go. So now I just have to decide where to put everything. So I was thinking 3 of these at the bottom. And you know, in retrospect, I kind of wish I did 3 white and 2 red, but I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I think if my ribbon was thinner, it wouldn't blend in with the red leaves, but this is sort of what I'm thinking. 3 leaves here and 2 leaves up here. Let's see if I can show you. You know what I wish I did? And maybe you can do this if you haven't started this and aren't doing it along with me. Instead of wrapping all the ribbon around, just tying one big bow on it would have been really cute. So if I were to start this over again, that's probably what I would do. One of the things with arts and crafts, if you don't have a plan in place, you can just sort of go with it and make changes as you go. Unfortunately, sometimes you can change your mind about things when it's kind of too late. Technically it's not. I could restart this. I could very easily take this off and do the ribbon over, but I'm under a time constraint. Cassidy has actually been napping for 2 hours, just over 2 hours now, yeah. So I don't think I have enough time to kind of redo this. Cassidy is waking up now, great. So I'm gonna put this away for now, and you know what? If I come back later, I might redo the ribbon. We'll see. Hi everyone, I'm back. So Cassidy woke up and I wasn't really surprised. So while she was awake, I kept thinking about this project and I was just still not happy about how it turned out. So as you can see, I took all the ribbon off of it. I'm going to tie a bow instead. Cassidy is down for another nap. However, I can see her on the monitor right now. It's right there. She's not sleeping. She has not been sleeping for this nap. Anyway, I'm gonna just try and make something happen here, but I'm gonna do a bow right here. Now, one thing I will say, I've always been really bad at tying bows, so we'll see how this goes. I might have to use a little glue gun magic to make this work. I am a little concerned with my time available to do this, so I'm kind of doing this quicker than I'd like to. So I've tied a bow. I'm gonna just figure out the best way to make it look pretty. There. Now I'm not going to leave these dangling as much. I'll probably cut those at the end though. So that is figured out. Now that will go here, and then these will go up here, and that will be my wreath. I think it's turning out really good. So now I'm going to plug in my glue gun. So what you could do if, say, you're in the States, you could, instead of maple leaves, have stars, and you could paint and weave through colors of the red, white, and blue. You could also do a bow. I'm not too upset with how this bow turned out, so that makes me really happy. I think I'm gonna cut the bow now while I wait for the glue gun to warm up. done. The glue gun is almost done, almost ready. So we're almost done, and I like this a lot better. I'm really happy I decided to make this change. Cassidy is sitting up in her crib right now, so that's great. So because this is wood, I'm able to press down on it without the heat coming through and burning my fingers, although I can feel a little bit of the heat. So I will reiterate, be very careful with glue guns. So there's just a lot of manipulating. I'm figuring out the best way for these to sit. I have a little bit of glue that sort of came out at the side here. I'm not too thrilled about it. I'm just gonna let it be. Now, it's good to plan so you kind of know where things are gonna sit. I want that to sit like right there. Okay, so there's the first. Now I'm trying to decide white over red or red over white. I think white over red, just to kind of balance out a bit. Now these kinds of wreaths are really difficult to do this sort of thing with, because as you can see when I lift this up, it's kind of pushing up in certain spots because the glue and the leaf don't connect in every single spot. But what's good is because I'm putting this one on top, figure out where the right side is, it'll kind of hold it down and hopefully it'll catch right here really well. And we're done. So that is my Canada Day wreath. I'm still undecided. Thoughts on this being in the middle? Or they'll be hanging separately. I'm not sure. But this is it. I just have to clean up some of the string from the glue gun, and that is all. I think I'll even leave the bow alone because it seems to actually be sitting nicely now. So that has been my very not well planned out Canada Day craft, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you give it a try yourself or do something similar, I think wreaths are a great way to make a decoration for any holiday, and you can really do what you want with them. You can use your own creativity, and that's one thing I love about certain crafts is if you don't like the way I did one thing, you can change it and you can make it your own, because I really think crafting is about making things unique to yourself. You don't need to do it exactly the same way as everyone else, and doing crafts that allow you to have the creative license to do your own thing is great. And don't be afraid to make mistakes when you do crafts. Don't be afraid to change your mind like I did. And yeah, just get crafting, enjoy it, and find the time to do it like I do in between when my daughter is napping and or crawling around in her crib like she is right now. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, especially if you want to see more crafts. I'm probably going to do one for every holiday just because I really enjoy crafting. So along with talking about mental health and stuff, I am going to be throwing a lot of crafts in because it's something that I really enjoy, and I also find very helpful for your mental health is to be able to sit down and do something creative. Anyway, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye.